Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week, and thank you for coming. And we're going to be talking about the Kindle Fire. This is probably going to be probably a 1 week series, so it may be a little long for that. I apologize, but there's some things we need to cover. So let's start off by describing the product. It is a lot like other tablets. I have the Kindle Fire 8, so it's a rectangular shape. My Kindle Fire is currently in a case that Amazon sells. It has a nice fabric. The case does anyway on the inside of it, and it sticks to the Kindle Fire magnetically. Now let's go from the top. The top, you'll know the top by it'll have a volume down, volume up button on the left. This is if it's in portrait mode. It'll have a headphone jack, and to the right of the or I'm sorry, the volume up and down button. And then you have a micro USB port on top. And then on the top right, you have a power slash lock or awake button. Then you want to we're going to be traveling down the left side. You have one speaker. Keep going down, and you have another speaker quite a ways down, actually. And so this Spire has stereo speakers. Now, on the back, it's kind of a durable, plasticky type of feel to it. So one would think, okay, well, this is going to be interesting. It doesn't, uh, how well does a plastic tablet work, or one that has a plastic backing do it? Pretty well, actually. But there is something I do need to mention to the left. If we go back to the top, this it's so small that you do kind of gloss over it. But to the left of the micro USB port, there is a microphone for the tablet. So I have the tablet now plugged into my audio interface. I'm going to turn it on. You guys can please tell me if you guys can hear this okay? Okay, that came out of the actual speaker, but the rest should be coming out of the interface. So an interesting thing about this tablet is it starts out pretty soft, but then the voice does rather, because this does have a screen reader called Voice View, and it's almost like it takes a little while for the screen reader to wake up, because then the screen reader will all of a sudden get loud. So it's I mean, it boots up plenty fast, but just for some reason the screen reader kind of kicks in really loud all of a sudden, and you have to turn it up. All right. Oh wow. Okay. Let me see here. So that's actually kind of soft.
411. Sunday, May 30th. Homescapes. Play free. Play
Okay.
free.
Is that loud
Double
enough, or
tap
do you guys
to
need me to turn that
activate.
up?
Turn it up just a little hair.
Uh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'd say turn it up just a little bit.
Homescape.
Yeah.
Play free.
Little bit.
Double
Okay.
tap to activate.
There we go. That's better. Okay. So to turn it up, I'm gonna turn these knobs back to where they were. To turn it up, you really have to keep pressing the button, like press, 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 like all those times you heard me press it, because now it's gonna be pretty loud.
Home. Play free.
Oh, yeah, now I hear
Double
it.
tap to activate.
Yep.
Sounds perfect.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so this tablet does not have a home button. And honestly, when all the hullabaloo was going on about the iPhone also not having a home button, I wasn't worried, because I had used an Android tablet before, a Google Nexus 7, and that didn't have a home button. This is Android-like. I do need to say that this is Android-like, but Amazon Fire tablets, they do have their own operating system built in, so it is kind of cool. So we'll go home.
Homescapes. Play free.
Well, we will if I can.
Play
Okay,
free.
so what's happening right now is I'm trying to get past an ad.
View
So I'm
more
flicking
ads.
to the right.
Button. Unlock.
I
Button.
want to double tap on unlock.
Device unlocked. Home. Amazon Insider. New items. Item 1 of 3. Email.
Okay, so this is using the Ivona voices. We have Ivona Joey and Ivona Sally. And the Ivona voices for me, um, we'll get to that when we go to the accessibility settings. But they can kind of drone a little bit. So I personally don't use this. If you guys don't know, Kindle is greatly known for its book reading. Um, just a second. Okay, we're back. So uh, now, in case you guys didn't know, these Kindles are usually used for reading books that have that have the capability to do so. So in other words, what I'm getting at is a lot of the Kindle books that you'll find in the Kindle library, you're you can read them with either the Kindle app or the Kindle tablet itself. Some of them, though, like college textbooks, they don't give you the option to read at least page after page after page, like straight through the book. You literally have to use the screen reader to do that, and sometimes it's not very easy. Um, so, anyway, as I stated before, the the uh, the voices are a little bit interesting. They're a little bit maybe monotone might be the right word. A little bit weird, but anyway, let's keep going here. I'm gonna flick to the left or right.
Calendar. Row 3. Column 2.
So before that, I believe I was on email.
Camera. Row.
Oops.
Calendar. Email. Row.
Yep. So this does have email. Um, and we'll keep going.
Calendar. Row. Camera. Row 3.
Camera, I've checked that out because um, one of my hobbies, I love doing YouTube videos, and one of my interests is was to see, okay, how well does the camera work? Well, thanks to this, which you guys will recognize, a three-finger double tap does what on the iPhone? Anybody can tell me. What does the three-finger double tap on the iPhone do?
Turn speech on and off.
Yeah, I was going to
Correct.
say that speech on and off. Yeah,
Correct. Well, watch this.
and three triple
Just
finger
a second.
triple tap turns the screen curtain on and off.
Speech off. 3-finger double tap to turn speech on.
So you can turn speech off on this $50 tablet.
Oh wow.
Speech on.
There's one other thing. Steve, you sort of mentioned it, but watch this. So if I do a three-finger triple tap, just like on the iOS devices, well, if I can actually get my hand,
Screen curtain enabled.
there we go.
Triple tap with 3 fingers to disable screen curtain.
Now we can do that.
Screen curtain disabled.
But I don't need the screen curtain, so I'm sorry, I don't need the screen, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the enable the screen curtain again.
Camera. Row. Screen curtain disabled. Screen curtain enabled. Docks camera.
Okay, there we go. So the camera actually works pretty well, thanks to the speech off command or speech off command, and that is for Braille. And I think Amazon really does listen to feedback because I was one of the people, if not the person, that gave them the suggestion to, why don't you guys do something uh, like a, three finger double tap for speech off or three finger triple tap to enable a screen curtain. I said, because this is blind people, we don't need the screen. And I respect that some visually impaired users might need the screen, but for us blind individuals, we don't need the screen. So they obviously they took that feedback, or along with maybe with some other individuals, and they get the screen curtain and the speech um, off option uh, available to us now. And one thing that's kind of cool, that's kind of like the home button to turn voice view off. I know these are kind of like throwing commands out, but to turn it off, you simply press the lock or power button 3 times.
Voice view exiting.
There's that. Now I'll do it again.
Voice view ready. Sean Williams. Double tap. Fishdom. Dive and play. View on camera. Unlock.
And
Device
just turned on
unlocked.
voice view.
Home. Camera.
So
Row 3.
let's get into the important thing, accessibility. So we'll keep going to the right.
Docs. Contacts. Row 3. Column 5.
Oh, just need to mention something. Docs is where
Double
you can
tap
create
to act.
Docs is where you can create documents. And actually, a 2-finger tap stops speech. I believe a 2-finger double tap also stops speech. If you also say Alexa, hello.
Stop.
Well, it doesn't seem to. Alexa, hello. Nope. Okay, so it doesn't work with headphones apparently, or with the cable in, but the Echo, the A lady, is on here, and she does work quite well.
Maps. Row 4. Calculator. Clock. Weather. Help. Row 4. Settings. Row 5.
Here we go.
Column 1.
Settings. So we'll go in here.
Double. Settings. Wireless and Bluetooth. Double tap to activate.
So you guys can see this is kind of like Android if you guys have ever used an Android phone. There's wireless and Bluetooth all together.
Storage.
So
Double tap to-
storage, I believe
Mic's off.
I believe that this storage is about, I think it's 16 gigs storage built in
Power.
for me personally. There's power.
Show mode.
Show
Double
mode
tap.
was designed to make this $50 tablet look like an Echo Show. If you guys have ever seen an Echo Show, it's basically an Echo with a big screen. So there was actually a little dock or connector that you could buy, which when I heard of it, I said, "All right, that sounds cool." But then I looked up more about it from my buddy Robin Christofferson, and he was describing the show dock, or the Kindle dock, and it didn't really look like something that I would be personally, sorry, a little tongue tied, interested in. I think it's just because from what I was reading, the show dock is a little bit. I think at that time it was a little bit flimsy, but anyway, that's just my personal opinion. I've never actually seen one to verify that. That's just what I've heard.
Show mode.
So anyway, you don't have to have show mode, as I stated. You could just that was a way in the past to just say the A lady's name and then get her to talk. You could just say turn on show mode or enable show mode, and you could actually just talk to the Fire like you would talk to an Echo. So let's go to the right, flick to the right, that is.
Apps and games.
Apps and games, there's
Double
settings
tap
right there.
Display.
Okay, display, that could be very important to us because we might want to adjust the brightness. So you double tap on display.
Display.
Let's do
Wallpaper.
that because I want to show you guys how to back out of something. Oops.
Display. Wallpaper. 1 of 7. Adaptive brightness is off. Optimized brightness level for available light. 2 of 7.
Yeah, I want to turn that off. I don't want it to
Double
automatically
tap.
I don't want to have that turn all the way up or all the way down. I want to be able to control it myself.
Display brightness. 3 of 7.
There's display brightness
Double
right
tap
there.
to activate. Slider. 0%.
So it's 0%
Swipe up or
bright.
down to adjust.
Oh, that sounds familiar. So if I swipe up,
Slider. 20%. Slider, 0%.
Swiped up, then I swipe down.
Swipe up
So
or
let's keep going.
blue shade. Adjust the brightness and color of the screen for use before bed. 4
Oh,
of 7.
okay.
Display sleep. After 5 minutes of inactivity. 5 of 7.
Sounds familiar. Sounds like
Double
my
tap to
iPhone.
font size. Normal. 6 of 7.
So here you could get like a
Double
large
tap
font
to
or something
activate.
like that if your vision required a larger font.
When device is rotated, stay in current orientation. 7 of 7.
I do want that actually.
When device is rotated, rotate the contents of the screen. Checkbox, not checked. 1. Stay in current orientation. Checkbox, checked. 2 of 2. Cancel, button. Display, when device is
So-
rotated, stay
Just tap it once to shut it up. How do we go back? We need to touch the bottom left of the screen.
back, button.
There it is.
Settings, display.
Okay. And we just
Double
popped
tap
us
to
right back to display. So let's keep going.
Alexa,
Oh, there we go. The A lady. Let's go in here.
Alexa, switch, checked. Press the home button to access Alexa on your Fire tablet. You can also enable hands-free mode, 1 of 7. Restrict access, 2 of 7. Double
Oops.
Alexa, restrict, hands-free mode, switch, checked. Talk to Alexa
Ah.
without pressing the home button, 3 of 7.
That would be actually a lot easier for us. I mean, I think I could do it. I think you just have to press like double tap and hold or something like that. But yeah, hands-free mode is definitely worthwhile. You might want to check that.
Wake word, Alexa, 4 of 7.
You can go in there and change the wake word.
Trusted networks. Learn more. Tablet ESB behavior, switch, checked. If you have more than one Alexa device using the same wake word, Alexa responds intelligently from the device you're closest to, which may include this tablet. When this setting is on, ESP, Ecospatial Perception, will favor the closest Alexa device over this tablet, 6 of 7.
So I think that's
Double
pretty, that's
tap
pretty
to
neat.
activate communications, manage calling, messaging, drop-in, and announcements, 7 of 7.
Pretty neat that
Double
you can do
tap
that from
to
there.
tap learn
So
more.
we'll go
back, but settings,
There we go.
Alexa, device options.
Okay, device options
Double
is
tap to
interesting because you can go in here and check for software updates and stuff like that. So we'll just take a quick peek in here.
Device options. Battery, 66%, 2 of 9. Date and time, 3 of 9. Find your tablet is off. Allows you to remotely locate your Fire tablet.
What I love about this is are the hints. The hints are really, really good.
Backup and restore, 5 of 9. System updates, 6 of 9.
There we go. There's system updates.
Reset to factory defaults. Remove all personal data and downloaded content from your Fire. 7 of 9. Device model, Fire 8, serial number. Back button.
And we'll go back.
Settings, device options, personal.
Personal, let's see, is this an actual? No, personal is kind of like a heading, I think. Yep, it is. Because it didn't say double tap to open.
My account.
Oh,
Profiles.
yeah, that's very personal.
My account. Profile. Accessibility.
Okay, that's kind of getting a little
Double
dramatic there,
tap
but okay.
to activate.
Accessibility, this is what we want.
Vision settings, 1 of 15.
So, vision settings. This is obviously important to us.
Voice view screen reader. Managed voice guidance settings, including turning voice view on and off, reading speed and volume, and earcon volume, 2 of 15.
Earcon is like the sounds
Double
that
tap
you hear.
to activate.
So, but let's see what else there is.
Screen magnifier. Enables the use of gestures to magnify the screen, 3 of 15.
Very important for our visually impaired,
Double tap to
visually impaired
activate.
friends.
Font size, normal, 4 of 15.
There's the font size again, but it makes sense to put it there twice. You know, once in the display settings, once here, and it's kind of neat.
High contrast text is off, 5 of 15. Double tap to
Turn on the high
activate.
contrast text. I don't have any usable vision, so that won't apply to me personally.
Color inversion is off.
Again, same thing, but
Off. May affect performance. 6 of
oh,
15.
that's
High.
interesting.
Color inversion is off. May affect performance. 6 of 15.
Good. Okay. Well, it's off.
Double. Color correction. Off. 7 of 15. Hearing settings. 8 of 15.
This is important for obviously for those of us who have hearing difficulty.
Closed captioning is off. Show closed captions for videos when available. 9 of 15. Closed captioning preferences. 10 of 15. Convert stereo to mono is off. Mono plays all audio through a single channel. 11 of 15. Accessibility help. 12 of 15.
There's a help guide right there.
Accessibility users guide. 13 of 15.
Oh, I spoke too soon. There's
Double
a
tap.
user
Accessibility help.
there.
12 of 15.
Okay.
Accessibility users guide. 13 of 15.
I kind of wish that they
Double
would.
tap.
Oops. I kind of wish that they would put a heading like accessibility help heading or something like that, because obviously if I go to
Accessibility help.
double tap, that's not doing anything, and it's not saying heading. But I guess, it's more of it's kind of like, well, if it doesn't say heading, or I'm sorry, if it doesn't say double tap to do this or that, it must be some kind of heading. I suppose you could think of it that way. But the browser is not bad either. The web browser is not bad either. So let's keep going really quick. So actually, the hearing device, or the hearing, let me go back.
High font size.
Sorry.
Here. Closed. Accessibility. Hearing settings. 8 of 15.
Yep. So that is a heading. I thought that was a button, but no, it didn't say what it should have said. It's for a button.
Close.
And I just double tapped on that as well.
Accessibility services. 14 of 15.
Okay. So
No services installed.
okay.
Disabled. 15 of 15.
Okay. So
Double
let's
tap to activate.
Okay. Let's talk about that. So services. What what do you mean no services installed? So, if you guys are familiar, the Android lines of phones, they have in the Google Play Store. It's called Braille Back, and it's not as good as iOS. I think everyone probably knows that. It's getting better, but very slowly. Uh, the cool thing about this Fire tablet is that this has. Oh, hello, Renee. The cool thing about this Fire tablet is that
Don't let him. No, it didn't go.
the oh, what is it? The I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Okay, the cool thing about this Fire tablet is that the Braille support is actually built in, which is really neat. Um, that is not something that I've seen on anything other than iOS. Normally, you'd have to install BrailleBack, but there is BrailleBack for Android as well. So that's, but I'm sorry, not Android, for the Fire as well. And you can install that, and I have used it. Um, it's not my it's not my favorite, but the BrailleBack for the I'm sorry, I keep calling it BrailleBack. The Braille support for the Fire there. That is actually not half bad. And the nice thing about Amazon is that they do listen to your feedback. I'll say that again because I said, I've looked at your Braille displays, and you have something, you have about five Braille displays. You have APH's Braille display, the Orbit Reader 2040. They have some other ones, but very limited quantity of Braille displays. So I called them a couple times and I said, all right, well, could you please tell the individuals, to please put the Focus 40 blue, because that's my personal Braille display that I have and I rather like. And I said, could you please put that in there? Well, a couple software updates later, what do you know? It's in there. So it's really neat. It's really nice, rather, that they listen to feedback like that. So let's go back to voice view settings and we'll show you what's all in there. But just wanted to talk about the service, especially like Brailleback, that is available for the Kindle Fire. You can search for that on the what does I believe? Yeah, they call it the App Store as well. I believe here. But there's also a Zoom app for the Fire. So I have, and it's accessible as well. The Zoom app. While we're speaking of Zoom, that it's very accessible on the Fire, and I have used it in the Bits chat meeting, and it seems to sound okay. The microphone that is on the Fire. So let's go back to the settings, accessibility settings. All
Closed
right, let's tap
captioning
toward the
preference.
top.
High contrast font. Vision settings. Voice view screen reader. Managed voice guidance
There
set.
it is.
Voice view screen reader. Voice view is on. To disable, select this option, then double tap anywhere on the screen. 1 of 7.
That's pretty neat. Let's
Double
see what
tap
else.
to voice view shortcut is on. Allow triple press of the power button to turn on voice view. Voice view can always be turned off with this action. 2 of 7.
I love the hints in here.
Double tap
It's
to
great.
activate. Typing style. Touch. Lift finger to type a key. 3 of 7.
Let's go look at this, because
Double tap
this is
to activate.
really good.
Typing style. Standard. Double tap or tap with second finger to type a key. Checkbox. Not checked. 1 of 2.
Sounds familiar.
Touch. Lift finger to type a key. Checkbox. Checked. 2 of 2. Cancel. Button.
We'll hit cancel for now.
Voice view screen reader. Typing style. Touch. Lift finger. Speech. 4 of 7.
Ah, speech.
Double
A very
tap
subjective thing. So let's double tap on speech.
speech. Reading speed. 1x. Speech. Navigate up. Button.
Okay.
Reading.
Oops.
Go to text to
Sorry, hold
speech. Sounds volume. Map.
Come on.
Verbosity. Read. Speech.
There it is.
Reading speed. 1x. Normal. 1 of 9.
Okay, so
Double
we can
tap
go on
to
here. We can
activate.
double tap here, and we can speed the speed up. If we wanted to, let's do that. So I think it said 1x.
Reading speed. 0.66x. Slowest. Checkbox.
Ugh.
Not checked. 1
See
of
what
10.
that sounds like.
Speech. Reading speed.
Oh, very robotic, very
0.66
robotic.
Verbosity. 2. Go to text
Oh
to
gosh,
speech.
oh no.
Speed. Speech volume. Reading speed.
Okay, let's get that back to normal. It's interesting. It pops us out of the menu as soon as it changes as soon as the changes has taken effect.
Readings. 0.81x. Normal. Speech. Reading
go.
speed. 1x. Normal. 1 of 9.
And I suppose you could say, well, that's nice
Double
that
tap
it does pop us out of the menu, but I mean, I don't know. It's all how you look at it.
Verbosity. 2 of 9.
Let's go in here.
Double tap. Verbosity. Verbosity is the amount of information provided while navigating. Double tap an item to turn it on or off. Reset to default option available at bottom. 1 of 10.
Really good
Double
hints.
tap to details. 2 of 10.
Details.
Speak window and container context is on. The context of current area. For example, the title of the current window is verbosity. 3 of 10. Speak role is on. Item types such as button or checkbox. 4 of 10. Speak index is on. The location and count of items in current group such as item 1 of 3. 5 of 10. Speak usage hints is on. Tips for interacting with current area of the UI such as double tap to activate. 6 of 10. Speak screen description is off. Describes screen layout and usage. When off, only speaks first time. 7 of 10.
Okay.
Double tap to
It probably means that's. If I had to guess, that would be like to avoid repetitiveness, which is it's fine for me right now.
more. 8 of 10.
Oh, cool. And that looks like okay. Yep. So more looks like a heading.
Speak state before long titles. Experimental is off. The state of items such as checked, selected, disabled, will be spoken before the item label. 9 of 10. Reset to default. Reset verbosity options to default values. 10 of 10.
Okay. So we
Double
can hit
tap
back,
to
or we can hit navigate up. So I'm gonna hit back. Oh, let me make sure that's true.
speak window and Verbosity is the amount of information. Verbosity. Speak when detail. Verbosity. Navigate up
Yep.
button.
Just like Android, navigate up button.
Double tap to activate.
And so we will go to the right. There's actually details. Let's see what's in here.
Verbosity.
Oops.
Details. 2 of 10.
Okay, that's actually going to be a heading. Okay.
You're going to be
Yes.
getting some feedback. Do you hear it?
No. There's the
No
feedback.
feedback.
Verbosity.
Maybe a little bit.
Navigate. Wi-Fi
Okay,
3
so
bar.
let's go. Let's save ourselves some trouble. Let's hit the bottom left to go
I
back.
turned it down a little bit.
Back button. Speech. Verbosity.
Actually,
2
I'm
of
sorry.
9.
I did hear it a little bit. So okay,
Double
so
tap.
I'll do a 2-finger tap to stop the speech, and also believe this is the same. Well, I need to focus. So let me go to the right.
Speech volume. Match device volume. 3 of 9.
So you can match
Double
the device
tap to-
volume, which is good. Or you can have it. Well, let's not guess. Let's go in here.
Speech volume. Match device volume. Checkbox. Checked. 1 of 4. 75% of device volume. Checkbox. Not checked. 50% of device volume. Checkbox. Not checked. 25% of device volume. Checkbox. Not checked. 4 of 4. Cancel button.
We'll cancel.
Speech volume. Match device volume. 3 of 9.
So let's go to
Double
the.
tap
Let's
to active.
hit a 2-finger tap to stop speech, and now let's flick to the right.
Sounds volume. Match device volume. 4 of 9.
Believe the same thing there.
Double tap to act.
The 75-25%, but let's check instead of a guess.
Sounds volume. 70. Match device volume. 75. 50%. 25% off. Checkbox. Not checked.
Oh,
5
nice.
of 5.
We can turn the sounds off if we want to.
Double tap.
Nice, nice, nice.
Cancel. Speech. Sounds volume. Matched.
We'll leave them on just in case, but it is nice because you can turn speech off, turn sounds off, and you can just use your Kindle Fire like you would an iPhone or an iPod or whatever.
Key echo. Characters. 5 of 9.
What do we have in here? Should be
Double
characters,
tap to-
words, characters, and words. Let's see.
Key echo. None. Checkbox. Not checked. 1 of 4.
Okay, the way that I could see that this would make sense is you would need to have a braille display hooked up for this to even make sense, or a keyboard. Because I don't know what none would do for you exactly if you were just typing on a keyboard, on the touchscreen, which is quite easy to type on, by the way.
Characters. Checkbox. Checked. Words. Checkbox. Not checked. Characters and words. Checkbox. Not checked. Cancel. Button. Back. Key echo.
Oops.
Home. App switch. Back. Button. Key echo. Characters. Cancel. Speech.
There we go.
Key. Punctuation level. Sum. 6 of 9.
A lot of things that we're used to. So punctuation level. Let's go in here.
Punctuation level. None. Sum. Checkbox. Most. Checkbox. All. Checkbox.
Oh goodness, I don't think I would want it at all. That would be.
That's punctuation.
This is a test. Period. All the commas, all the parentheses, all that stuff.
Cancel. Button. Speech. Punctuation level. Identify capital letters. Say cap. 7 of 9.
So this is interesting. So you could have it say cap, or
Identify. Say cap. Cancel. Button. Say cap. Checkbox. Checked. 2 of 2.
well,
Raise pitch.
Ah.
Checkbox.
there it is.
Checkbox. Not checked.
Okay, so raise pitch, checkbox not checked. I don't want to have it raise pitch, so I'm perfectly fine with it saying cap.
Say cap. Cancel. Speech.
Cancel.
Identify capital.
Oops. Flip to the left.
Punctuation. Speech on or off gesture is on. Turn speech on or off by double tapping with 3 fingers. 8 of 9.
I don't know why you would
Double
want to turn it
tap.
off, but you can.
Go to text to speech. 9 of 9.
Okay, go to text to
Double tap
speech.
to activate. Back button. Speech. Go to text to speech. 9 of 9.
Okay, let's go in here.
Text to speech, default voice, 1 of 2. Download additional voices, 2 of 2.
This is where you can download,
Double
as it
tap to
states,
activate.
download additional voices. So let's see what other Ivona voices we have in here.
Download additional voices, Danish, Denmark, Mads, 1 of 43.
A lot of different voices, actually.
Double tap to Danish, Dutch, Netherlands, Dutch, English, Australia, Nicole, 5 of 43. English, Australia, Russell, 6 of 43. English, United States, Sally, installed, 11 of 43. French, Canada, Chantal, 12. French,
Wait,
Norwegian
where
book
did
mall,
Joey go?
Iceland, Japanese,
Hold on.
Icelandic,
Touching toward the
Iceland,
top?
German, French, French, France. Wi-Fi
on.
3 bar. Download additional voices. French,
Okay.
French, English, United States, Joey, 10 of
There it is.
43.
Okay.
English, United Kingdom, Brian, English, United States, Joey, 10 of
Oh, wait a
43.
minute. I don't think I...
English, United Kingdom, Amy, 8 of
There we
40.
go.
English,
And
India,
then we
Ravina,
have- oh,
7 of
I think I
43.
skipped a few.
English, Australia, Russell, 6
Okay,
of
there's
43.
where I remember leaving off.
English,
Hey,
India,
Sean, if
Ravina,
it's okay
7
to
of
ask a question,
Sure. Sure.
what's the name of that voice? I know it, I mean, Tom was saying it's the echo voice. Does it have a particular name? I like it. I mean, if that's the default voice, it's very clear.
Oh, sure. This is actually not the Echo voice. This is a voice by Ivona called Ivona Sally.
Oh,
Yeah, it's this. I think I like this one a lot better. The Joey voice, it's not good for reading. I can say that. I've fallen asleep in
oh,
the
so
chair
that's
that I'm
not
in.
that's not the default voice. I'm sorry I came late. I was going to do it on my phone, but the password didn't work. But I like this way much better, coming in through my iMac.
Oh,
But
no problem. No
uh,
problem.
did the so that's not the default voice?
Let me think. So no, the default voice is called Ivona Joey. It's good for getting around. I wouldn't suggest it for reading. I had to do that very thing with um, those. I was talking earlier how the Kindles were known for their Kindle books. You know, reading Kindle books,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be college, what have you. And I had to go one semester with a Kindle book that did not have the capability to read from start to finish. You had to swipe each page.
Oh,
And you basically, it was a matter of just tapping once on the screen and listening to the whole thing being read. And if you didn't catch a word, you had to listen to that page all over again. That's what happens when books aren't, granted accessibility wishes, I guess you could say, or at least accessibility to us. So I had to use Joey, and my point is that Joey kept talking monologue like this. Like he's
oh,
really,
yeah.
really, really good with apps and stuff. He's very good with apps. It's just Sally just has a little bit more inflection, and
She
that's
has a
just what I like.
lot. Very good.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm really impressed with the hints as well. So let's see.
English, Australia, Russell.
So it's pretty neat. So there's Russell, if you guys want. There's even in English Indian voices you guys heard. So we'll flip that back to the right.
English, India, Ravina, 7 of 43.
Okay, we'll flip to the right
Double
again.
English, United Kingdom, Amy, 8 of 43.
Some of these other voices are very good as
Double
well.
tap English, United Kingdom, Brian, 9 of 43.
Brian's actually pretty good. And then when
Double
you
tap to
when you double tap one of these voices, it'll say like downloading or something like that. And I believe there's a progress bar, and it's either there's a progress bar that keeps going, which I don't know that that's the case. I think you have to flick back to the left, but either way, you'll get a percentage.
English,
should
United
get a
Kingdom,
percentage, let's
Brian,
put it that
9
way.
of English, United States, Joey, 10 of
And
43.
there's Joey. As we
Double tap
stated.
English, United States, Sally, installed, 11 of 43. French, Canada, Chantal,
Anyway, there's all kinds of different voices here. Um, 43 to be exact, it sounds like. So let's go back out of here.
What size screen is that? Did you get into the to the description of the screen? What size screen is it, or
I
how
did.
big?
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's an 8-inch screen, so it's the Kindle Fire 8 HD. Pretty good sounding speakers as well. There's stereo speakers on here on the left side, so it's pretty neat actually. And just I know you weren't here before, but a handy shortcut is just to recap really quick before we go any further. So to turn speech off, simple, three-finger double tap. Turn screen curtain on or off. Yes, this does have a screen curtain. Three-finger triple tap, just like the iPhone. So pretty cool similarities here. And I believe if I do a two-finger double tap while we're on the subject, I believe it will start playing music. Maybe not here, but it has done that in the past. Of course, I haven't asked it to play anything yet. But anyway,
In French,
pretty cool similarities here.
back
So let's
button.
go back.
Text to speech. Download additional
Okay,
voice.
so I think we were in the speech option. So we'll go back.
Back button. Speech. Go to text to
Okay, what I like about this is that this,
speech on or off gesture.
yes.
Back button.
Okay, so you can turn that three-finger
Double
double
tap.
tap to turn speech off, on or off.
Voice
Alright,
view
here we
screen
go.
reader. Speech. 4 of 7.
Okay, so speech, we were
Double
on
tap
punctuation.
to
I think,
act
before.
typing style.
Okay,
Speech.
typing style, touch, or standard. Flick to the right.
Braille. 5 of 7.
Ah, Braille. Many of our favorites. So let's go in here.
Braille. Pair Bluetooth Braille display. 1 of 4.
Ah,
Double
yes.
tap to
So let me recap on this as well. So the Fire has its own baked-in Braille support, and the Fire's Braille support, it's good. The last time I tried it, I was able to type my name successfully just as a test. Um, I wouldn't say that the speech is. Now, this has been a while since I've tried it, so they could have drastically changed it to make it a lot better. But I could read definitely what was on the Braille display, so it's okay. And if you don't like the built-in Braille support, there is Braille back for Fire Edition, so that is also another option to choose from. But I love that, in all in all, that there is baked-in Braille, which is great. So we'll go to the right.
mute speech and sounds is off. Disable voice view sounds and speech. 2 of 4.
That's what I love to do.
Double tap to activate.
I love doing that on my iPhone, and so I can
Did that
just.
unit come already? With speech, or when you got it, did you have sighted assistants to help you get started?
Well, so actually, let me think. I think I messed around with my father's sorry, not iPhone, wrong sandbox, Kindle Fire, and I believe I learned how to uh, turn on voice view then, and then I turned it on. I believe I turned it on myself when I first got the Fire. The interesting thing though is that now everyone can turn it on very simply by hitting the power button 3 times, and that will turn voice view on or off. And there's actually a gesture that we went over that said, "All right, do you want that to happen? Like when you press the button, do you want the voice view to be turned on or off? Then you can tap that, and you can disable that three tap power button function should you wish."
Sean, I have a question.
Sure.
Um, when you first get this, get it home, through the mail and get it out of the box.
Mhm.
When you tap the power button 3 times by default, does that automatically turn on voice view?
I believe it does because I think that was actually introduced. Like I got a little notification. It said, "Hey, this is basically what's new in Voice View," and it was talking about the uh, three tap or 3-click power button. And I think I might have introduced or suggested that as well. A lot of these, like Amazon's great about feedback, as far as their accessibility. I've said it twice already, but it's worth repeating because there are a number of things that I've suggested and they just said, "Yeah, that actually sounds really good." And like the screen curtain, for example, I know I said something about that, turning the speech on and off. That's also something that's suggested as well. Probably a lot of other people suggested it as well, but they they listen, which is great.
And what
But
about the gestures? What about the
I'm sorry.
gestures? What about the gestures? Is there some documentation somewhere that'll tell you what gesture does what and how to do it?
Yeah, there is an accessibility help. It'd be like a heading, but it does have the accessibility user guide, and I believe there is a voice view practice in here. I'm not sure of that, but I'm gonna look
Pair Bluetooth Braille
as soon as
display.
we get done with the braille display. So pair Bluetooth braille display, 101.
Mute speech and sounds is off.
Okay, we've done that. So we can
Braille table. Contracted English Braille. 3 of 4.
let's look at these braille tables because
Double
this
tap
is
to
interesting.
activate. Braille table. Computer Braille. Checkbox. Not checked.
No,
1
thank
of
you.
4. Uncontracted English Braille. Checkbox. Not checked. 2 of 4.
This is nice because I remember
Double
being
tap.
in a bits meeting of places, and I remember a question being asked something like, "Is there a way just to have grade one braille?" And this would be your answer. Yes, there is on this fire. You can just choose uncontracted. What did it say?
Contracted. Uncontracted English Braille.
Uncontracted English braille, and that's not computer braille. It's just simply grade one,
Contracted English Braille. Checkbox. Checked. 3
and
of
that's
4.
what I wanted on.
Unified English Braille. Checkbox. Not checked.
And they have that there.
Cancel button.
We'll click
Braille.
cancel.
Braille table. Show accessibility focus on Braille display is on. Raise dots 7 and 8 beneath the item with accessibility focus. 4 of 4.
So let's think about this.
Double
That's
tap
actually
to activate.
well, as soon as it stops talking. There we go. Let's think about this. So, if you guys have ever used a braille display with an Android device, Brailleback has this feature too, which is really cool. Which is one I wish VoiceOver would have, and that is simply you get to tactically see what item is under the cursor. Whereas like VoiceOver, it's great and all, but you see basically one item. But on the Fire, and I believe definitely on the Android devices, and also on this Fire, since it is some semi-Android, um, you do have a lot of devices. Or devices? Where did I get that word? You do have a lot of items on the screen. There, sounds a lot better. And you can see what item is under is the accessibility feature is focused on, because like it said, dot 7 and 8 will be under the item. So let's say we have App Store, Audible, and let's say camera on the screen, and you can kind of see camera, but sometimes the word camera will kind of get cut off. That's just the way the screen is. It's basically showing you what is exactly on the screen. But let's say Audible, you see dot 7 and 8 kind of blinking under Audible, then you know Audible is the one that's the item that is in focus. So it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat tactile indicator. So let's go to the right.
Back button. Braille. Show accessibility focus. Back.
We'll go back.
Voice view screen reader. Braille. 5 of 7.
Okay, we'll flip to the right
Double
now.
tap. Voice view tutorial. 6 of 7.
I think this is what you were
Double
talking
tap
about.
to activate.
We'll go to the right one more time.
Please send voice view and accessibility feedback to device-accessibility at amazon.com. 7 of 7.
That's where you can send feedback. Let's go through
Double tap to act.
Let's go through the tutorial.
Voice view tutorial. 6 of 7. Voice view tutorial. Basic gestures. Learn how to activate an item. Select an item by swiping, and explore by touch. 1 of 6.
So these are things obviously
Double
that
tap
you can
to
choose.
activate. Text entry. Learn how to enter text. 2 of 6. More gestures. Part 1. Learn how to change granularity, navigate by granularity, and modify a slider control. 3 of 6. Device navigation. Learn how to quickly navigate your device using shortcuts such as home or navigate back. 4 of 6. More
Sean,
gesture.
Yes.
what do they mean by granularity?
So granularity, like, like the rotor, like it's going to be like characters, words, lines, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So let's choose one. Let's see. There was
Learn mode. Try gestures to get familiar with
ah.
device features. 6 of 6.
I think that's exactly what you were asking.
Double tap to
Learn mode.
activate.
So we'll double tap that.
Welcome to Learn mode. Use 4-finger double tap to exit Learn
I
mode.
was wondering
Try gestures to get
if they embedded
2-finger
that.
single tap to pause or resume speech.
Okay, so learn mode, just like on the iPhone, 4-finger double tap with 2-finger or 4-finger double tap 2 times. So we can just do this.
2-finger double tap to start or stop media.
Oh, sounds familiar.
3-finger double tap to turn speech on or off.
What
Disabled
about?
by default. Enable in voice view speech settings.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so that the 2-finger double tap to turn speech on and off is disabled by default. Interesting. Wonder why. I mean, it makes sense, I suppose, but so let's try a swipe up, then a swipe down.
1-finger swipe up then down using a single motion to cycle up in granularity.
Now, you have to keep your finger on the screen when doing this, but now let's swipe down, then up.
1-finger swipe down then up using a single motion to cycle down in granularity.
What about up and to the left?
1-finger swipe up then left to navigate home.
And up and right? Nope, how about down and right?
1-finger swipe down then right to read all from selected item.
What about down and left?
1-finger swipe down then left to navigate back.
Yep, and that is that. So now I'll do a 4-finger double tap to exit learn mode.
4-finger double tap to open or close learn mode. Exiting learn mode now. Voice view tutorial. Learn mode. Try.
And we'll go back. Come on.
Back button.
There it is.
Voice view
Or I
screen
could have
reader.
used that
Voice
gesture
view
that I
tutorial.
just
6 of
was
7.
told. Oops, let's try that.
Double
that
tap.
gesture.
Accessibility.
Perfect.
Voice view.
Works like a charm. Okay, so
Screen
I
magnifier. Enables the use of gestures to magnify.
I think we've gone through all the accessibility settings.
Settings. Accessibility. Legal and compliance.
And that's
Double tap. Back
what it
button.
sounds like. Alright, let's go back down here.
Home. Settings. Row
Okay.
5. Column.
So, how do we close an app? The app switcher is actually on the bottom right, and it's not a button or anything. There's no home button as stated before, but we tap the app switcher.
Home button.
Nope. Go further to the right.
App switcher button.
Double tap that.
Settings.
Flick to the right.
Double settings button. Dismiss settings button.
Oh, let me see if there's actually a.
Settings button.
Okay.
Double tap to activate.
That is, I believe that's going to be a.
Settings.
Okay.
Settings. Dismiss
There we go.
settings
There's
button.
dismiss. So that's going to close.
Double tap
close
to
settings.
activate. Voice view tutorial. Voice view. Dismiss
Oh,
voice view to
Okay. Yep. Dismiss that.
voice view tutorial. Home setting.
Okay, and now we're back on settings. So that is an overview of the Kindle Fire. It's pretty neat. I find the Zoom app, for example, to be very accessible, as stated before. Um, it's quite a nice little device. You get quite a lot out of it for $50. It's quite a bargain, actually. Does anybody have any questions or anything that they would specifically like me to demonstrate?
Um, I just,
US has new window.
Yes?
I just wanted, I mean, I can't, I'm trying to figure out what I would do with it if I got it, because I have an iPad Pro. But, what do you have, does it have like a Word document or a note, or do you do email on it? What is it that you actually do on that, Fire Kindle?
So yes, you can do email, you can read books. It does have this thing called Docs where you can create a document. Plenty of apps in the App Store. It does have Sero. If you guys are subscribed to Sero, there is a Sero app in there. Let's see, there's all kinds of stuff actually. A lot of the apps that are in the Android store are a lot of the apps that are in the Google Play Store are in the Kindle store as well.
Kindle store. Sean, it's Scott. So would you say your primary use then is what? Reading books? And my second question is, are there various different models of the Fire, and is there anything we need to know about that in terms of selecting the right one?
Sure. So, to answer the first question, I'm sorry. Could you please remind me of the first
Just
question?
was wondering what your primary use was. Is it
Oh, okay,
reading
okay.
books? Um, because from what you've indicated, it seems to be more elegant on the tablet than either on the PC or on the phone. Uh,
Right. So yeah, yeah, I can answer that. Sorry about that. Okay,
no problem.
the so what is it primarily used for? I gave books as an example. That's what I did use it for, because college book of mine wasn't available anywhere else, but it was available in the Fire
Yeah, I've had
store.
that happen. Yeah.
And yeah, it's not fun, especially when they're not uh, allowed to be, uh, customized for accessibility. Um, but I've used it for, you can use it like it has the A Lady app in there. Obviously, since
Hmm.
Amazon is that since Alexa is
Part of the
made
family.
by Amazon, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so um, it's pretty good. I mean, I would go to this for the A Lady app. I would go to the Fire and try to tackle a problem before I go to the iPhone, because the iPhone, it's like I like to put my Echoes on guard mode. And for anyone who doesn't know what guard mode is basically it's listening. The Echoes, that is, are listening for breaking glass or smoke alarms, and they work. You can type in breaking glass into your iPhone or dictate it however you choose to type, braille screen input, whatever. And you can play that sound, a preview of it. And while your Echo is on guard mode, you just say something like, "Hey, lady, I'm leaving." And she'll say, "Okay, I'll start guarding." You do have to enable guard in settings, but I would honestly try the Kindle Fire before I tried my iPhone, now that I stopped to think about it. I normally don't, just because I have my iPhone always with me, pretty much. But I should give that another try, because there are still some bugs with the iPhone app
Hmm.
that pertain to guard. But it is so. The other thing that I would use it for is Audible. I'm an Audible subscriber, and so this is definitely a good book. Reading machine, or listening machine rather, as well as reading. Um, just tons of little, just tons of things that you can do within such a small package, I guess. And
It's
as
amazing.
far as, oh yeah, definitely. And as far as different models, yeah, definitely get one with stereo speakers. I mean, they're not like, super top line speakers, but
Yeah.
it's a lot better than like one mono speaker. Because my father actually has a Kindle Fire, and his Fire, it's okay, but it's just one little speaker, and you set it, let's say you set the Fire on your lap, it's
Yeah.
covering that speaker up. Whereas these speakers they're on the left side of the unit, so they're not going to necessarily be covered up.
Hmm.
And this case is actually really good as well, and it actually has a little hole for the camera. Um,
Hmm.
it's not a very decent camera like the iPhone. I think it's like a megapixel camera,
Hmm.
so good enough. Um, but this case doesn't come with the Fire. I I got it cheaper than normal just because I had some Amazon issues and stuff like that. Um, but it's a pretty neat little unit. I like how it uses micro USB, something more standard, and it does have a headphone jack, which is very
Yeah.
nice. And
Sure.
it's a good music player as well.
Sure. And one more question, just from what you said about the Kindle books. Will the description in the Kindle book uh, description indicate whether it's optimized for accessibility or not?
So that's an interesting question. So the last I noticed, I don't think it did. I think I was looking, and I was going to have the Echo play the book because Ivona Joey was putting me to sleep. Like literally, like, I'd be
Yeah.
sitting in this chair, and
Yep.
then all of a sudden I'd be woken up and I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
You were
Yep.
sleeping again, Sean. It's like, I'm sorry, it's that dumb voice. It's just so it's monotone.
Yep.
But yeah, that's just the way it is, or was rather, still is. But like I said, the voice is great for apps. Great for everything else, just not reading. Sally's okay. Um,
So how do you know whether your book is going to play with all of the accessibility features or not if they don't tell you in the description
well, like I
before you
said,
buy it?
this was they should tell you in the description. I agree, and they
Mhm.
probably do now, probably because there was a lot of feedback. But I don't think at the time when I was using
Okay.
the book library that they did,
Got it. Got it.
or if they did, I missed it.
Okay.
How do you turn on Kindle on the pad? Is that just one of the options, and you just double tap on it?
How do you enable the Kindle book library? You're
The
saying?
Kindle, no, the Kindle app.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So yes, that is one of the apps that you can choose from. Yep.
Okay, and then I'm not familiar with the Android. I've never used Android, but I so once you to get a Kindle book, I guess you've got to go into the Android. There's an Android store option. Is that
No, you actually, I believe you can go into the Kindle store actually, or you can even just shop on Amazon using your Echo and just you can get the ebook. It'll be like a Kindle ebook, and you can search for it in the Kindle app for your iPhone or whatnot, or for the Kindle Fire should you wish to get one, and you can then play it on your Kindle Fire or on your Echo. And that's actually how I used the Echo um, downstairs, and I was like, okay, play Intro to Computer Security or something like that, and it just wouldn't do it. So I'm like, okay, well, what's up with this? So I then learned about the whole copyright thing, where only certain books that are copyright to play speech or to
Hmm.
have speech capability can do that. So yeah, it's kind of like a hit and miss, but most books should be able to do that.
oh, okay?
That
Good.
meaning play the books. Sorry.
Okay, good. And what is Braille back? I'm not familiar with that. What is that basically?
Sure. So in addition to the Kindle Fire's built-in or baked-in Braille support, the Braille back is essentially a service. It allows you to connect a lot more Braille displays to the device. It's a little bit interesting to set up. I think you have to change, if I remember correctly. I uninstalled it just because they finally added the Focus 40 Blue, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't need two Braille services running, so I uninstalled it. But I believe you can go into Brailleback and you can customize Brailleback the way that you want. It's basically just like a little addition that you add on to the to the Fire, should you wish. Um, the Brailleback, at least from when I
Device
tried
locked.
it, the Brailleback app did not support contracted Braille, which I really wasn't too happy about. But the Kindle Fire does seem to produce or contracted Braille rather, so that was actually really cool.
Okay, so it doesn't sound like anybody really needs Braille back unless you just want to get additional support.
It doesn't. If you The only way you would need it is if positively you were sure that uh, the Kindle baked-in Braille support was not did not have your particular Braille display.
Okay,
But that's I mean it has about 5 or 6 Braille displays I think built in, maybe even more by now. But yeah, that's that answer. Any other questions? Okay. Well, is there anything?
Just real
Oh,
quick,
sorry.
besides the Focus 40, Tom wanted to know what other Braille displays does it support. I would assume it would support a lot of them, but I just wanted to be sure.
Sure. So it does support the Orbit Reader 20, I believe, the Orbit Reader 40, uh, unless I'm mistaking that. Uh, I don't quite remember. I think they were like the cheaper Braille displays that it supported. Um, and then I just would call a few times. I said, look, I really would like the Focus 40 Blue. I don't have any of these other Braille displays. I have a really good Focus 40 Blue, and I'd like to be able to use it. And they added it. It was great.
Hi. Hey. What are you doing? Look, the animals.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you, and I really appreciate the meeting. So,
Oh, no,
Sean,
no problem. Oh, yeah?
what about documentation when you get the God, the Fire 9 or whatever it is, when you get it home out of the box? Is there any documentation that comes with it?
That's accessibility. I guess you could say accessibility rated. No. It's really on the device. Like I said, like I showed, there was an accessibility, uh, quick start guide, which is really, really good. I think there's accessibility help as well. There, and that's all. That either takes you to a web page, which I believe it does. I believe it takes you to a web page within the Silk browser, which is what the browser is called. It's called Silk, and so that is that is a really good place to search for any gestures or anything like that. And plus, the tutorials on the device itself are really helpful as well.
Great. And what do you think of Silk? How's it worked out for you?
When I've used Silk, it works out okay. It's maybe see I've used a lot of devices. Like I've used the what is it? See, I've used another browser, totally different topic, but it was on like a Samsung TV. So I'm trying to make sure I'm not getting these things confused.
So
But
how does the Silk compare with Safari?
Silk compare with Safari?
Yeah.
Kind of like two different things. I would like Safari better, and that depends on what you're asking or what device you're asking about. Because like on the Mac, Renee, I'm sure you can speak to this as well. But the item chooser is very helpful on Safari. That's really helpful. That gets you past all the clutter, all the links that you don't want. You can just
Yeah.
type in whatever you want.
Does
um,
Silk have anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of. No, no, it doesn't. It does not have an item chooser,
I don't
unfortunately.
know how to use I mean, when there's a lot of keystrokes with the voiceover. I don't know how to use, but Safari on the app, the iPad, I don't know how to get to the item chooser or things like that. I tried reading the documentation, but I didn't understand it. But speaking of the iPad and the Fire, does the Fire whatever that thing you're using, a Kindle Fire. Does
Hmm.
that work with the Fire Stick for the TV? And is there a way to train with Alexa on that thing or the Fire Cube TV? That's what we have. We don't have an Alexa. We have Fire Cube TV. Fire TV Cube, and I don't even know how to work that, and I don't know how to do the skills stuff. So I didn't know if the Kindle works with that, or if that's a whole separate thing.
It should work with that just because it does have the A lady. Like you should be able to say. I know with the echoes you can say to the you can say like the Fire TVs. I don't know about the Cube so
Put that
much, but
down.
I know on the Fire TV you can say something on your Echo like play. Oh, I don't know. Play NCIS on my Fire TV, and it will do that. You can do that with the
That's
Echo
right.
Dots. But so I would assume that it would be the same thing, but I don't have a definite answer. But thinking, that this does have the A-LED built in, I don't see why it wouldn't do that.
Sorry, I can't answer the question about the item chooser on Safari because
Oh no, I was just saying. Okay, so to do the item chooser, um, you do a VO I, and that'll bring up tons of links, tons of everything, and you just type in what you search for, and each time you type it in, type in a letter, it narrows it down and narrows it down. It's really really helpful. Actually, I don't know why I don't use it more often. I should. Actually, it's really helpful, especially like sites like Gmail and stuff too. But that's kind of getting off topic. But speaking of echoes and Alexa and all that stuff, next week's presentation, if y'all are interested or if you guys know of anyone who's interested, feel free to pass the registration link along. I'll be doing a presentation on the Echo and all that has to offer and the skills and stuff like
well,
that.
that would be fantastic because we don't we're probably the only ones in America that don't have an Echo, and I'll tell you, I don't understand the difference between the Fire Stick Cube, and then we couldn't figure out how to. I can ask it what the weather is,
Mhm.
and then there's difference. There's the Echo, there's the Dot, there's the Spot, there's this, there's that, and it's like I'm not buying a thing until I can understand it.
Fire Stick and the Fire TV Cube are related items, but I don't know interchangeably related.
Yeah, so we're one of the few people that don't have an Echo, and
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. I'll be doing one on the Echo, and then with that, I'll kind of incorporate and talk about the Google Home as well, because those are the main competitors, and maybe do like a smart speaker type presentation next week, actually. Cool. So, any other questions?
I'm HK,
Hey,
and
HK.
I was just wondering that Kindle that you were demoing on this session it sounds like it's a lot like the iPad Touch that you gave me. Is that right? That it's similar to that?
Yes, yeah, it's similar to that. It is. There are some differences, but yeah, it's pretty similar. VoiceOver is a little bit. I think VoiceOver might be a little bit better. Let's see, what version did I? I believe it was iOS 9 something. Yeah, so
What?
I was
The
trying to think of the
iOS?
version of iOS that I was on that touch. Anyway, yeah, I think VoiceOver, it definitely has some strengths where the Kindle Fire doesn't. Maybe, for example, more Braille display support. But yeah, the gestures, they're a little different, but yet some are the same. Or a few of them, quite a few of them, are the same as the iPod Touch. To answer that question.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No?
Hi, Sean. I just want to thank you for this excellent presentation. It was really helpful because I'm going to be buying a Kindle a little later on.
Oh,
absolutely.
nice.
Thanks, John. Great job.
Oh, no problem.
appreciate it.
No problem whatsoever.
Oh yeah, it's been a pleasure, Sean.
Cool. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate your guys' time, and I hope to see you guys here again next week.
We appreciate your time, your generosity in doing this and in offering this. And I appreciate everything that you do. I just wanted to let you know that if anybody was using it on the iPhone, for some reason I couldn't get the password, but I like it better on the Mac anyway. But it's really good. Thank you.
Oh, cool. Nice. Well, thank you guys again, and we will talk next week.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye.